So today we talked on Grindwise about a lot of things that are going on out there, the conspiracy theories that are coming true. We also talked about some of the solutions that you can take advantage of as a small to medium-sized business, solutions that we bring to the table. Make sure when you're looking at this video, you also look below it. You'll see some of those links to where you can connect with us. We appreciate you watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. We'll see you on the next episode of Grindwise. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Grindwise. As always, you're sitting here with Earl and my partner Brent. You do not want to go away today because we are going to talk to you about waste in business and how that translates to all the crazy stuff going on right now. But here's the thing. I got to tell you, Brent, I'm running out of conspiracy theories because they all seem to be coming true.
Well, there are a lot of them out there for sure, and a lot of them put online every single day.
Man, it's nuts. I don't even want to get into that. Hey, by the way, if you guys are watching this, hit us up in the comments. Tell us what you want us to talk about, because if it relates to business, we're going to bring you the best possible information. But Brent, today is Super Bowl, so they're going to see this after Super Bowl, but it hasn't happened yet. It's kind of a big day. We got some food in there, but what's going down in the kitchen?
Well, I actually don't know. The wife's doing it all. I think she's making sliders, which is really good. So,
oh my gosh, we're talking about food, but we got the gang here today too. It is bourbon, ball caps, and business. What are we looking at?
So I took something out of your playbook, and I had some empty bottles, and I went ahead and made some off of a few bottles. I do know the recipe to this. So
you do know the recipe.
Well, I mean, an ish, right? So I didn't really measure, but I'm going to we're gonna give it a shot. And now, if you guys didn't catch our last episode, this is basically what I call a whiskey suicide, because it's mixing several different whiskeys. So,
wait a second. I don't feel like we're even.
Better.
Okay, but before you got to remember, we've got production house. We have Blue Couch Studio. We have Brandon here. Brandon had a real good time here last time on bourbon called Ball Caps and Business. Brandon, where's your glass? And it comes forward. Okay, you're gonna have some of the suicide bourbon with us. We'll call it right there. He could barely walk out of here last time. So this is your suicide mix of bottles that had kind of gotten down just towards the end.
It's only really two, so it's be a really good recipe.
Two.
Yeah,
all right.
No, it's not 10 or 12 like yours. What do you think?
Oh, that's good.
It is.
You know, I was a little bit concerned going into this that you'd have that non-alcoholic one that we had last time. And
it went right into the trash. I used to have non-alcoholic, which tastes a lot better, because I quit drinking for like 18 months.
Okay, I'm picking up apple in that for sure.
Yep. There's apple. It's a little Jefferson and a little bit of
Jefferson.
Crown.
See, I've never heard of Jefferson before.
You never heard of Jefferson?
I've never heard of
what's
Jefferson.
Up later.
Okay.
Oh, you're gonna love that.
It says age and humidity.
Yep, it's tropics. That's my brother-in-law brought that over. See, all my friends and my family, they come over and they bring bottles and leave them here. So like this one we had last week was
Why don't we do things in my house more? So I mean, if that's the gig, come on over. So I got to ask you, and this may come as a shock to all of you, but who are you picking for the Super Bowl to win?
Well, Chiefs, baby.
What?
Chiefs.
Oh, yes. Yeah,
I thought so, and I thought you were going to be a zebra. Is that as close as you could get to the zebra?
You know, in support of the Chiefs, I was going to wear black and white stripes, but anyway. No, hey, look, I'm in there. Yeah, I got to root for the Chiefs. So, and frankly, I think they're going to do it. I think it's going to be an interesting game today, though.
Yeah, it's been interesting watching the pregame stuff this morning. There's a lot of people say that the Chiefs have it. They say it's not going to be blowout. It's not going to be blowout. They think it's going to come down to the last possession, which is ironically how the Chiefs have won the last 17 games. Yeah,
but pretty much their whole season, it hasn't been like blowouts.
No.
It's been like, okay, this is an interesting game to watch. Are they going to win? Are they going to win? Then they just, then they get the referee call and they win.
Whatever.
So,
whatever. I will tell you, we did talk, I think, a little bit last week. The stats are actually quite the opposite for Patrick getting all those calls. If you look at actual stats compared to other quarterbacks, other teams, no comparison. It just so happens they're the New England Patriots, that we all hated back in the day because I was tired of seeing them in the Super Bowl every year. Well, now people are the same way against the Chiefs.
You just lost 90% of our audience because
that's all right.
Because they're going, it's the referees. That's the problem. So conspiracies, man, there's a billion of them out there. I feel like I'm starting to feel like at this point I'm just left with Bigfoot because they unraveled the whole thing on Kennedy. I mean, Lyndon Johnson, that was like, but you know what's weird? It's kind of blowing me away. Is almost people are almost dumbed down to it. It's like, yeah, we knew it was a conspiracy forever. Yep. Oh, you finally admitted it. That's almost sad to me.
Yeah, I know. And it's funny. You kind of got me squirreled. You can do that with me.
I know.
About 2 weeks ago, and of course you believe everything on social media, right? Everything.
100%.
2 weeks ago, there was some footage in Oklahoma of a guy they say it's Bigfoot, and it looks like a creature, and he's only like 50 feet away, and he sees it, gets it on camera, and it looks at him. He takes off running.
Perfect.
I don't know.
Perfect. Now we got another episode. Actually, I'm not. No joke. I've actually been seeing stuff of Bigfoot in Oklahoma. And
yeah.
If you guys haven't been to Oklahoma, there's some areas that's somewhat flat, and then there's some areas that got some trees. I was thrilled to see that when I moved here because I came from the Pacific Northwest and Alaska, where there's tons and tons of trees all over the place and big mountains. Of course, you guys call that stuff mountains around here. I think they're kind of hills. They're sort of moguls, but
foothills.
There you go. This is good.
It is. It's really good. I thought it would be. Jefferson was always one of my go-tos.
All right, so back to the food in the kitchen.
Yep.
It's Super Bowl. The wives are here. We got some people coming over. What's the grub?
What's the grub? What do you mean, the food?
Yeah.
So I know that we're doing those sliders, cheese dip, different dips, food, meat and cheese trays, vegetables. It's going to be too much food,
A lot of that stuff's already, and that's the show today, guys. Thank you very much for coming to watch, and make sure you hit that like and subscribe. I'm kidding. So, well, that's some cool stuff. Look, there's crazy stuff going on out there right now, and there's real parallels between what we're seeing right now in the news and people's business lives. And I pulled down some interesting stuff today. I'm kind of excited to go over it with you and see what you think, but. Like always here on Grindwise, we have solutions related to just about everything that we talk about. But what's your feel? I mean, there's some stuff unfolding. It's kind of crazy out there.
Well, ever since I turned 18 and I could vote, which is, I'm not going to tell you how many years ago that was.
Right.
A lot, yeah. I always told my wife, I said, it's this country, I always felt like needs to be ran by a business owner, not a politician. And especially, a wealthy business owner is even better. I saw a stat the other day that said the entire cabinet leaving the White House were worth $118 million. The new cabinet coming in are worth $314 billion. So what's that tell you? They're not taking bribes. They're not taking kickbacks.
They don't need the money.
They don't need the money.
Yeah. Well, I saw look, we can do a lot on this topic today because it's just mind blowing. I saw one on Chelsea Clinton and
yeah, I saw that too.
That whole thing, she's getting all this money, and then they went and audited how many meals she was actually providing, and it came out to like $1,410 per meal for people in Africa. I'm like, that's some good Kobe beef, I guess. I don't know, but it's horse pucky. The stuff we should have named this one, bourbon, ball caps, and BS, but,
right?
Because there's just a lot of it going on. There's a lot of things that we've been suspicious about as Americans, as people out there going, oh, come on, man, that ain't right. And then you start doing the dive into it because we don't want to talk about something that's not factual. We want to try to figure out, hey, what's real and what's not. But look, USAID, right? They manage $40 billion every year, roughly, right? It's around $40 billion that they're in charge of dispersing to different programs. In the interest of American citizens, we pay taxes. And there's some rumors going around that maybe they didn't handle that money quite as well as they should. Have you heard any of those?
I've heard a lot of that. I actually have that pulled up on the computer. We can take a look at. Want to take a look at it right now?
Yeah,
let's do it.
Pop it up. Let's take a look.
So let's go. Let's take a look at this is actually the Department of Government Efficiency Live Tracker.
All right.
In 510, they have 510 days. So they're going to, I heard, or actually it's on here, $2 trillion savings in 510 days.
That's what they're saying. They're going to be able to save. This is the Doge, right?
So far, they've saved $36.73 billion.
That's like this week, or
that's since they started it.
Wow.
Since January 20th. And number one leader is $421 million saved with U.S. aid. And then you come down here and you see remember we talked about the employees resigning?
Right.
They could resign or whatever else. Don't know all the details. Save $30 billion. 60,000 people resigned.
Well, they got packages, right? You get some money. Hey, go ahead and resign or roll the dice, and we'll see if you get fired or you're not.
Yep. Yeah. And then you come down through, and I mean, just look at the list of the different things. I mean, DEI.
199 wasteful contracts across 35 agencies, 250 million. Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, and if you look at a lot of this stuff, man, this is stuff going across the country or overseas to other countries. I mean, there was a Sesame Street.
Oh, we're going to get into that.
Right.
But let me ask you a question. So it's pretty clear that there's some things that are going on with finances that we shouldn't be happy about, because they got to be good stewards of our finances, right? But we've owned businesses for a lot of years, right? You and I both. We've had a lot of employees. You have an employee that you give a credit card to, maybe you give them petty cash, things like that. That employee goes off doing their sales, this, that, and the other, and it comes back that, and this is, by the way, this is a true story. This actually happened in one of my family's businesses. The salesman spends money on hookers and cocaine.
He was having a good time.
Like he was. It wasn't a good time when it got revealed. Now, do you fire that employee, or do you just go, all right, you knock it off, you crazy gopher, you?
You fire that employee.
Right. So if you have a salesman who goes out and he says, I'm going to spend $10,000 of company money on jelly beans, and I'm going to throw them into the crowd, and I'm going to get everybody to like me that likes the jelly beans that they got. Is that good use of money, or?
No, I sent you a reel this morning from Wolf of Wall Street where the dad comes in and is like $26,000 on appetizers.
For appetizers? No, he says $26,000 for dinner. And he's like, well, there was appetizers. Tell them about the appetizers. They were great. But it's nuts. It's nuts. Look, when you own a business, you got to handle your finances. And I got to tell you, man, I was looking at that and I started, okay, how many people are handling their finances? And we know because of our business that this is a real common problem. But I started looking at some of the stats, and I just went, to PR Newswire. They did some stats. This is back in 2021, but 80% of businesses are caught off guard by rising expenses. It means as a business owner, like, I didn't even realize prices are going up. Now, I can tell you, I know eggs. The eggs I buy, I used to buy them for like $10 for a crate. Now it's $21. And when you go to X at Walmart, they check your receipts and things like that. If you got eggs in your cart and you don't look the roll, like you can afford those eggs, they're going to stop and look at your receipt. They did. We laughed all the way to the car. But then they go on to say that 78% of business owners say if they had access to immediate financial insights, they'd probably be more successful. 78% access to financial insights. Don't you have CPAs, bookkeepers, and stuff like that? So I went further. Those same 78% have been using the same bookkeeper and CPA forever. Well, where's your access point, right? But here's where it gets really crazy. As a business owner, think about this. 29% they said they don't know which area within their business has the highest expenses.
Wow.
Are you kidding me?
How do you not know that?
Well,
you have to know
in fairness, we had employees. My family had employees. We had a guy that went out and spent a lot of money where he shouldn't have spent money, right? So sometimes you find out way after the fact, and when you're doing audits, maybe it's a month later or whatever. But what's interesting is most businesses, it takes them 8 to 10 days just to reconcile their books. Yep. I mean, the automations aren't there. They're just not aware what's going on. But it really pigtails into why 20% of businesses fail in their first year. I mean, if you think about it, 45% within four to 5 years. Right?
We talk about that all the time. It's always, take an electrician, for example. He goes out, starts a business, doesn't realize what it takes to start a business, and doesn't get the jobs, doesn't get
Probably a good electrician, though.
Yeah, well, great electrician, I'm sure. You know, and you have to do apprenticeship and work for somebody and all sorts of other things before they even let you start a business and to be an electrician. But you know, you don't know what you don't know. It's always that. It's always that in life and in business, especially. If you knew everything, every person that started a business would be successful.
Well, there's certain things you should know. I mean, for crying out loud, it says 37% of businesses don't know for sure which vendor they spent the most money on within the last 3 months or year.
Wow.
I mean, that's 37%. There's people that spend a lot of money. So now you pigtail that over, right? So you look at what's going on with USAID and Doge and stuff like that. I just want to ask you, as a business owner and as an American, I'm just curious, and just tell me which ones of these resonate with you as an American. Like you're going, absolutely. Look, I get that, right?
I'm probably not going to have any, am I?
Well, hold on now. There's some excuses associated because there's always a flip side to every coin, right? I started looking into that. You know, as a matter of fact, when you start to look into USAID, you were completely buried in every single search engine with the excuse runs. Wow, that's not accurate. The fact checkers say. So I started looking at some of the fact checkers, and at some point I was just like, come on, this is ridiculous. So $1.5 million to advance DEI in Serbian workplaces.
What's DEI stand for?
Diversity, equity, and inclusion.
What's that mean?
Come on, man. You got to get some little diversity, equity, inclusion up in here, especially in Serbia.
Well, if you notice, when we were looking at that Doge calculator, everything was that DEI.
Look, we've been ran over for the last four years plus on, you know, we got to get pronouns right. We got to get everything. Everybody's in a certain category, and everybody gets a trophy, right?
Right.
It's not like what it used to be, where things were done based on merit. In our own businesses, we don't promote anybody based on tenure. We certainly don't do it based on their ethnicity or anything like that. Everything's merit based. If you're worth it, you get rewarded. But here was the excuse associated with that. Okay, sure, yeah, we have a $1.5 million that went to advanced DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion in Serbian workplaces, but it's only going out in $500,000 installments. There's 3 of them. So these facts aren't correct because they didn't get the whole $1.5 million. There's 3 different installments of $500,000. But let's see this one. Maybe this will resonate with you as an American. $6 million to fund tourism, advanced tourism in Egypt. Solid.
Egypt.
Yeah. You know, Egypt right down there south of New York.
Yeah.
It's the country.
Yeah.
Right.
No, they're Egypt, Kansas. That's what it is.
All right. This one probably will make sense, as a business owner. $7.9 million to teach Sri Lankan journalists how to avoid binary gender language.
Wow,
it's important.
I heard that yesterday. That's crazy. That's crazy.
As an American,
what even is that?
Where's my wallet?
Is there another?
How much more can I give?
Is there a different? Is it like learning Spanish? What is
binary gender language?
No, look,
it's ma'am, sir. Just be aware. All right. But look, it's Sri Lankan journalists. Why does that matter to me as an American? It doesn't. To me as an American, it doesn't matter to me.
Nope.
$2 million for sex changes and LGBT activism in Guatemala.
In Guatemala. So,
but look, we in fairness, we've got to look at there are excuses associated with some things like $70,000 for DEI musical or music festival is what it ended up being in Ireland. Their excuse? It wasn't for a musical, people. It was for a music festival. So that's the fact checker. That was the fact checker piece on it. So I'm looking at it. I'm trying to be fair about this. Okay.
Maybe we're supposed to trust the government, right? With our money.
We're supposed to trust them. So now you got a guy in there who paid $10 billion in taxes. Now that's not enough, doggone it. It was one of the highest taxes paid. That's now looking at it going, hey, what'd y'all do with my money, by the way?
Right.
$10 billion.
Yeah.
How you guys spending that? And he's saying, like, that's not how you spend my money. And as Americans, I think we should be like, wait, how do you spend my money? But they've been able to run rogue. So there's certain segments that are pretty upset about this. Now, there's always good programs associated interlaced with bad programs. That's the best way to obscure bad programs. But $20 million to produce an Iraqi version of Sesame Street?
That's what I was talking about earlier. Why? Why? Is it a U.S. company that's connected to somebody in politics?
I don't know. I mean,
we need to dig into that. Who are these people? Who are these companies?
I tried
getting
to
the
look
money?
for the fact checker stuff on it. Here's what happens: you go in there and you put it in there to start digging in, and every page is filled with, well, fact checker says not accurate, and okay, so it's $500,000 installments. It's a music festival, not a musicale. It just doesn't ring. Look,
I know. I was going to say it's intermission time.
You almost need more bourbon.
Intermission time. So this is Jefferson's Tropics.
Jefferson. What's special about Jefferson Tropics?
So I'm going to butcher this. My brother-in-law knows the whole story. He said when they make it, they put the barrels on a ship, and they sell it around the world, and so it absorbs all the different atmospheric, I don't know, my brother-in-law will tell you the whole story, but this is when he brought it over here, I was like, wow, like, it's amazing.
Okay, now can you buy this just at a liquor store? Do you have to get it out of the country, or where does that come from?
So he got this bottle from one of his suppliers.
Okay,
and I'm sure, I don't know why you wouldn't be able to just get it at a regular liquor store. I mean, it might be look at the back of it. It's got a like a continent or something on the back. I can't even tell what that is.
Well, we probably spent money there.
Probably did.
I mean, look. Oh.
Wow.
Oh.
It's good.
This is really good.
You didn't like this?
This is really good. This is shocking afterwards. Hold on.
It is a little shocking.
So
afterwards.
my palate was already hitting on the
So
apple
sweet.
thing, but that's definitely a different flavor.
Yeah. Yep.
I might have to go easy on that. I might get a little wound up about some of these facts and statistics.
I want to show you
Stop
something.
saying neutral.
I want to show you something.
All right.
So I used to sell insurance a long time ago, and somebody back then got me onto. There is a website, and I'm gonna pull it up here on the screen right now,
All right.
and it's shocking.
That
right
one
here.
was shocking. Oh, what's this?
This is a national debt calculator. Now you see, we are still, even though federal spending's paused.
Right.
I mean, they spent $100,000 since I
Is that
brought
real
it up.
time? That's like
real
really
time.
happening.
Yep.
Okay.
And we'll put these links in the comments so people can check it out.
Yeah, make sure you go and look below this video and you'll
want
see
you to-
those links.
I want you to take note of one thing. All these numbers are continually moving up. I mean, the total U.S. debt. This is you, me, and everybody else in the country. $101 trillion. Credit card debt. We're talking. The average person is $8,000 per person, but it's $1.354 trillion in credit card debt. And
Oh my God.
there's one good thing on this screen that's moving up.
All right.
It's the Doge calculator.
Wait, it's moving up?
It's moving up because it's the money being saved.
Well, that's
It's calculating the real time. And, we are.
75 billion now, or 75 trillion.
75 trillion. Yeah.
So what? I don't understand. What is that Doge clock? What is it?
It's it'll tell you right there. Oh, it says the Government Efficiency Agency real-time savings objective from reducing waste, fraud, and abuse in federal government agencies.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So, and if you look across here, this gives you all sorts of stats. Tells you the population. It tells you how many unemployed people are official unemployed and versus unofficial. It tells you, it tells you everything. This is, and it's crazy. Look, I always thought, and I always look at this, especially when the government goes into shutdown. I pull this up and I look at it, and I'm like, well, the government's shut down, but we're still spending more money in 10 seconds than I make in 5 years or whatever. You know what I mean? We're spending millions of dollars every single
Look at that dollar
minute.
supply added. So it must be dollars adding to the.
This is, let me see if I can find it here. There was something I saw. That's when they're adding more money, but I saw it right here. Healthcare costs now $9,022 per person. In 2000, so 25 years ago, that was $53.54. So that talks to you about the inflation.
Wow. It's almost 100%.
You know what? You know what I don't see is on here though, Earl? Eggs.
Well, where's the eggs at?
They're not on here.
they sold out. They're just not even in the market anymore. I'm glad you brought up population because this is the one. This one here is this was a whammy for me.
Yep.
All right, it was a whammy for me. $50 million, $50 million to fund condoms in Gaza. I got 5 boys, right? They're all of adult age. $50 million to fund condoms in Gaza.
Did you know, since you brought up that, I was watching the Congress or Senate or somebody talking yesterday, and they actually sent money to fund an organization in Hamas.
Oh yeah.
And then they also were feeding Al-Qaeda people. I mean, it's crazy.
Well, it gets worse than that, my friend. Here, where is it? Looking for it. There's so many. $200 million for irrigation for the Taliban and their poppy fields.
Wow.
Because you got to irrigate those poppy fields. The war on drugs is real.
Right.
But we got to grow them first.
Right.
Yeah, that's solid. But check it out. Back over here on the condom thing, right? So everywhere you look, well, that's not true. Hold on. Now, that's just a fallacy. Fact checker says that $50 million didn't go. Yeah, they stopped it. Okay.
Yep.
Well, it didn't go out yet because they stopped it. But let's think about that, right? A condom sells in the U.S. I looked this up, right? I go down these rabbit holes, and
right.
On average, a condom sells for around $1. I'm like, really? I wonder what they sell for wholesale to the guy who's reselling them for $1. On average, 3 to 5 cents per condom. Okay. I said, you know what? Let's just impugn 10 cents. Let's just say 10 cents. Well, that's 500 million condoms for Gaza.
Wow.
But here's the interesting point. The overall population of Gaza is 2.142 million. And that's not breaking down male, female, old, young, just 2.142 million.
So they all get 5 or 6 apiece.
Well, they get a lot of condoms.
That's right.
They are flush with condoms now if they hadn't stopped it. And this is why, I mean, look, from my standpoint as a business owner, I love this because, A, we deal with businesses all the time that are struggling, and we go and we uncover stuff. With our AI technology on the profit Turing side, we go in there and we're uncovering what their cost of goods. We're finding money that they don't even realize is there. But you start looking at this, it's business. We're expending dollars with an expectation that they're going to be good stewards of our finances.
So let me ask you a question, because that threw me that number with the condoms, right? So
Through me too.
What I wonder. If there's something backdoor that happened there, what if we were supplying them those condoms at wholesale so they could resell them to other countries?
Oh.
And now that's giving them revenue.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Perhaps we were being gracious, putting them in the condom business.
That's,
so that they could, because even at 10 cents a condom and you're running it up to $1 on average, that's a 900%. That's a pretty good return on your money, good ROI. Maybe that's what it is. I should dig deeper.
Yeah.
Maybe it was really from the heart that they were giving $50 million for condoms.
Hey, you know what? They can give me $50 million for anything. I'll resell it.
Give me $50 million. We'll make some money. We'll make some money for sure. So the poppy field one just kind of blew my doors off too. I'm just like, you got to be kidding me. $520 million for the ESG, which is environmental social governance, right? Which that sounds pretty good, except that it's for their consultants in Africa.
Really?
$520 million, environmental social governance. Those are the consultants that handle the ESG. And I thought, you know what? Maybe that's pretty solid, but I keep reading, and that's for those consultants in Africa. So not a big win, right? So as you translate it over, what really got me squirreled away is I start thinking about what we do, and I start looking at these stats about businesses. You know, the failure rates, they're pretty consistent. Last year, around 594,000 SMBs folded their doors. We know there's pretty much a rolling average of about 32.2 million SMBs out there, you know, operating at any given time. 65% of them are failing in around 10 years. It's probably higher than that. I mean, for crying out, I'll go to the Department of Labor Industries. They got a wall of shame of contractors there this thick on clipboards of businesses that just can't afford to pay what they need to pay. But we also know, and we talk about this when we go out and we speak in groups and stuff like that, it's bad planning. It's bad use of money. these businesses go away. With the thing that you just showed, can you imagine any of one of our own businesses with a ticker like that just running up, 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 with no accountability?
Yeah, our CFO would be figuring out a way to turn that off.
It's insane.
It is. It's very insane.
So for business, and that's what we do here, right? We talk about bourbon, ball caps, and business, and sometimes some BS, which it just goes. And I've got a lot here. We could talk about this till the cows come home. The point is, even if it's just one thing, even if it's just one little thing, in my mind's eye, that's wrong. I didn't list off anything that resonated with you. Like, well, hold on, now that's a pretty good call. I mean, I can see where that money goes. Good use. I mean, even the Sesame Street thing didn't pique your interest.
No, I mean, I look, if they're hiring, I will build that same. I mean, we got Brandon at Blue Cow Studios. We can make Sesame Street. You can do like 10 or 12 different voices. We'll make it for. I say we do it. We do it right here in the studio. We'll do it for $2 million.
Don't make me bust out.
Let's get a hold of Musk and tell him we'll do it for $2 million.
We got for $2 million.
Done.
You know, that's far less.
Wait, we may have to speak Arabic.
I know a guy. I know a Google Translate. We've got it under control. But joking aside, because this stuff's not a joke, and we built businesses, and our business currently is about repositioning people to where they have longevity in business. I talk about this a lot, and I know you talk about this a lot when we're going out to expos and trade shows and we're up on stage. But there's just such a negative ripple effect that occurs when a business goes away. Right? This 20%, 45%, 65%, the 594,000 businesses. Everybody knows somebody who has a business that goes away. And that ripple effect, that negative ripple effect just goes and goes and goes. Because what do, Brent? Johnny's ice cream parlor shuts down after 25 years. What do they say?
Yeah. I mean, well, you know, and we were looking at that calculator. I was watching the ticker go up. It wasn't as fast as the rest of them, but the unemployment rate. The unemployment number. So, you know,
Johnny probably employed some people, right?
Right. So now you're talking about not just Johnny, you're talking about 5 or 6 other people.
Right. Because here's what happens. Johnny goes out of business. It's no longer there. Everybody's like, poor Johnny. God, he's been there 25. Nice guy. Nice guy, Johnny. That's such a shame. But what about Johnny's family?
Yep.
What about the employees of Johnny's business? What about their families? Now, what about the families that lift those families up, or the organizations that help those people? And it just goes and goes and goes. I didn't see anything in USAID about Johnny's business or any American businesses failing. I didn't see anything for veterans either necessarily.
Did you see anything for the California wildfires or the North Carolina?
I didn't see anything for North Carolina
hurricane
or any of that. But maybe I got to dig deeper. I talked to a fact checker.
It's you know why you probably didn't find it is because that funding was not cut.
But there's only $40 billion a year that they can disperse. So maybe that was look. Obviously, this is tongue in cheek. There's certainly some sarcasm associated with this. But what we do and what we've always done, whether it be through TJ or through Profit Turing or Try Turing or Market Turing or Infinite Turing, any of the companies that we own, is bring that positive impact to businesses. And the reality is, most businesses, and that's not my studies, but these studies, they don't even know.
Yep.
They're wholly unaware that there's probably $100,000 sitting there that they don't even know about.
Well, that's a very good point, and I don't know. I think it was on there on the Doge calculator, but I think it was $11 million for an unoccupied building that they were paying every year just to sit there.
That's insane.
Well, how many small businesses could utilize space in that $11 million building?
How many small businesses would still be small businesses if they just spent money that way?
Yeah. Well, and how many?
The number would be even worse.
Many of them, if that $11 million was in the form of a tax relief for those businesses rather than a tax, how many of them would still be here?
But what we hear a lot is about the businesses that we pay taxes. I mean, Elon Musk, $10 billion in taxes. That's probably not all. I mean, there's multiple other. Well, Tesla's not paying the taxation. Hold on. $10 billion. I don't care if it's $1 or $10 billion, but $10 billion is pretty significant I'd want to know where my money's going. I want to know where my money's going. I know you want to know where your money's going. I know we talk to thousands of business owners that get taxed upon taxed upon tax. They get taxed getting into the business, tax for all the licensing, tax for everything that they sell. They got to turn that in, right? They're responsible for that. Department of Revenue. Then they get taxed on what they make.
Everybody's got their hand out.
Then they take what they make and they go spend it on something. They get taxed again, and these monies go away. And these people are supposed to be good stewards of our finances, but it certainly doesn't appear to be the conspiracy theory it used to be. It seems like that's pretty relevant.
Yeah, I agree 100%. 100%.
So we have an opportunity in our own personal lives, right? We have elected officials and unelected officials. We have people that are out there. Now we have some watchdogs. I think things are going to make a good turn. But if for people in their own business, there's things that they can be doing so they don't fall on the wrong side of those stats, so they can figure out. And they aren't the person who's going, gosh, I don't even know where I spend my money. I think maybe I spend the most here or I spend the most there. You don't want to be that guy.
Right. No, you want to know where your money's going, because if you don't, then when money gets tight, you're going to go out of business.
So there's a million different things. We had Brittany on the show a while back. She's a master coach and a VP over on the profit Turing side. Every single week, every single day, she's impacting businesses in a real positive way because we own that AI software that allows them to dig in on that. We'll put that link at the bottom of this so you guys can connect with Brittany or any one of our other master coaches. But if you own a business, don't be like the government. Don't be like that administration. Be aware of where your money is going is what I would say. I've been putting together some training stuff for our new reps, and I was kind of going through some of those trainings, and, I thought, I've owned businesses for 25 years, and some of the stuff they were talking about in these training videos, I was like, my mind was blown. I was like, I never thought of that. And here, you and I partner and own the company, and I didn't even see all the aspects of oh my gosh. Right.
Powerful. And you want to hear something that I hear more common that I've never heard before until maybe the past 3 or 4 months? A business owner and I get on a call and they go, I woke up this morning and I thought, I don't know it all. And I need to hire somebody to help me get it. Take Donald Trump, the president, for instance. I've actually met the guy that helps him build corporate credit.
No.
And so he doesn't know how to do it.
Right.
He hires a guy to do it. I met the guy in Miami, Florida in 2023. So you hire people to do things you don't know how to do.
Or you don't have time to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most people are busy building their business. Most of these people, they're all good at their business. Most people don't get into business if they're not good at it.
You can search things. You can spend, you can spend 7-8 hours and search things and get a bunch of wrong information. I see posts every day about people, oh, look at this, look at that, look at this. And it's BS. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, it's BS. We are going to do some episodes about that. We are going to start calling some of that stuff on the carpet because this is all we do in businesses. We help business. We change that negative ripple effect to a positive ripple effect. I'll go a step further. I say the next person that I talk to that went down one of them wrong steps, I will actually get that person to come on to the podcast and explain to us how they got in that position.
Well, we can share.
I have
stories.
one. I have one right now. I'd reach out to him and see if he'll come on the podcast. But people don't want to share their pitfalls. So we'll see what happens there.
But you never know, right? Look, here's the thing: life happens, things happen. We all do what we try to do. We try to do things right throughout our life. We pay our taxes. You pay the man, right? The only guarantees in life: death and taxes. So you pay your taxes, you hope they're good stewards of it, but sometimes life happens, right? At some point I'll share the story. Lost a $10 million company over hitting a deer while riding a Harley.
That's a good story. We should talk about that sometime.
Yeah. So it's not always just bad business decisions. We could do a whole segment on business partnerships. We have a great partnership, but we've both had bad partnerships as well throughout our life in business.
Yeah, I know people right now that are struggling with separation of their partnership.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's like a divorce. Right?
Yeah, it's a divorce, and it's taking everybody's income into account and figure out how that separation works.
Yep. Look, if you guys are watching this, and you know some things that you want us to talk about, look, we can dig it up. We do it all day long. This is what we do for a living. We want to bring the best possible answers and solutions to you. Just remember that. So make sure you like, subscribe, and hit us up in the comments. Tell us what's going on. But Brent, we aren't done yet.
No,
we
I
still
think
have some Knob Creek over here.
Yeah.
I feel like our producer over there is sobering up.
I think you're going to.
See, he laughs.
He does.
He's like, I'm fine. So I brought some Knob Creek. It's straight Kentucky bourbon whiskey.
You know how I work. I push it over, you fill it up.
I understand. So we're gonna cork this. We're gonna give this a try.
We might need to. We keep doing these bourbon ball caps and BS or business. We might have to put an ice maker in this studio.
You know what? That's not a bad idea either. We're gonna rotate this over there. He's downing it. He just slammed it. He just slammed it. All right. We're gonna get.
Hey, wait! I gotta bring something up.
What?
So he was here last Sunday,
Right.
and he tells me that we had an episode last Sunday. He didn't get up because he gets home. He has a surprise birthday party. Was it his birthday?
I think
Was he here on his birthday and didn't tell us it's his birthday?
I think there was some birthday stuff going on. He didn't share with us.
We could have done. So this is your birthday. Well, this is so we call this bourbons, ball caps, and BS, and Brandon's birthday.
Oh my gosh! Cheers to that! Cheers to Brandon's birthday. All right. You might think that we're all technical wizards here, but the reality is we don't do all this. We have the equipment, but you got to bring in people that are professional, that understand how to do this type of stuff. A podcast just doesn't happen. We don't set up a phone over on a tripod. That's why we deal with Blue Couch Studios. And big shout out to them, because the reality is we don't have time in our business lives to do all this, but we do take the time every single week to try to put out content for you guys that's helpful for you in your own business. And back to that content, at the end of the day, we always provide the links at the bottom of this. We talk about a lot of different problems and things that are happening in business. We have virtually a solution for almost all things that people encounter, whether it's accounting, bookkeeping, or just setting up their business, whether they need to get loans, whether they need to build business credit. What are some other things laid out? Because we have a whole list of things we do in our company.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. You said one piece there that I want to touch on.
Okay.
The setting up of the business.
That's a big thing. That's scary for a lot of people.
I did it for all my friends and family. Yeah. I do it. It'd take me an hour. But the thing I didn't know was that you have to do it a certain way.
You got to do it right.
And you want to know something else? 99% of attorneys and CPAs don't know that either.
No, they just
not when it comes to. Well, they understand how to set it up. Mm-hmm. They understand how to set it up. They don't understand how to set it up so that a bank looks at you. And that's what we understand how to do. Would you rather your attorney or your CPA set you up and charge you $3,000 or whatever they charge, and then you got to go back and fix things because the bank's not going to look at you?
That's what we deal with that all the time. Almost every business that comes in and takes advantage of the platform that we used to build, Corporatecredit, on their EIN, which is a social security number for their business, almost every one of them have mistakes in how they set up their business. So if people are wanting to set up, that's why we brought that in-house. Yep. We created this because we know exactly how it's supposed to be done. If you set it up right from the get-go, then you have a far better likelihood of actually building real corporate credit.
Absolutely.
On it. So just so everybody knows, that's something that we can do, and it's far less than you'll spend anywhere else on the internet or this, that, and the other. But the point is, it's going to be done right. So we'll provide that link at the bottom. If you're wanting to set up a business, if you're wanting to start setting up corporate credit on your EIN, do it right from the get-go with people that actually do know, and that would be us. So make sure you click that link. But what else were you doing?
The PEO.
Yeah.
So I have a company right now that I've pulled their credit. I've looked at their credit on all the platforms. They don't have a good credit. I mean, it's mediocre at best. Mm-hmm. I mean, if I was a $500,000 a year company, I'd be like, yes, but it's not that. It's a $250 million company with probably 10, 20, 30,000 employees. I don't know their employee count yet, but their payroll's not reporting.
It should be. It's a debt. It's a debt.
And so we have that.
Yeah.
We have, For instance, Blue Couch Studios. We're going to set them up with the help them with their website and the email marketing campaigns and stuff like that. This is everything a business needs. If they, like you said, if there's a solution. I always said this. This is my catchphrase, but I think it's MC Hammer or Vanilla Ice. If you got a problem, we'll solve it.
Oh my God! The other one was can't touch this, but just FYI.
Well,
we're getting into lyrics. At the end of the day, what do we do? People have been asking, what exactly do you and Brent do? We help reposition businesses on a micro level to where they're operating like a Wall Street company by bringing tools to the table they otherwise could never afford, be aware of, or even have access to. We bring those tools to the table. That's our life's mission, is to make sure that there's longevity for businesses just like you out there. So we have all the tools and pieces and resources. We bring that up here in this conversation just because people keep, what do you guys do? Are you in the podcast business? No, this is just a resource so people can learn from other people and hear what the heck's going on out there and maybe have some sort of commonality. But this, I can't get on board with it, man. This is craziness. I'm glad it's getting exposed. If we ran any of our businesses like that, they'd be gone in a New York second. That ticker tape you showed me just blows my mind.
Well, I'm surprised. So I was looking up stuff this morning, the Doge clock I found last night, and I got out here this morning to the studio, and I was pulling that up, and I was like, I haven't looked at the National Debt Tracker in a while, so I'm going to pull that up, and let's take a look at that.
Let's talk about Knob Creek for a second. Straight Kentucky bourbon.
Are we trying to get a sponsorship out of them?
Well, I don't know if we're going to get a sponsorship or not, but what do you think? I mean,
it's pretty good.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
It has a different bite. It's got almost a dryness.
I think you got a bug in your cup.
That's not a bug. That's
Is that just part of the whiskey?
Nope, that's a bug. I have a drunk bug. I got a bug that camped in here. Oh, you got to be kidding me.
Well, at least it's in alcohol because you can still drink it.
Yeah, it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
So there's a dryness. There's a little dryness to this. It's different than that one. That one says aged in humidity. The Jefferson. That's pretty good. I love this one just because I kind of like the suicide bourbons. You don't know what you're getting into.
I'm getting on to that. I mean, now I feel like I need to drink. I mean, we got to drink a little more of this one yet, and then drink a little more of this one, and drink a lot more of that one, and then we can put them all in there, and we can have another whiskey suicide.
The optimum word being, we need to drink.
We need to drink more.
Drink a little bit more. Why aren't we drinking more? I guess is the question that we should be asking here today.
I got something I want to throw out there. We're growing our social platforms on all of our businesses. Yeah, and I look at people that subscribe to us, like say on Instagram, we're building that up. We're somewhere around 1,400 followers. And I look at the list of people and, I wonder if any of them are influencers. And, I've met an attorney that actually deals with the top 100 influencers in this country. But, I wonder sometimes, are those influencers set up as businesses or is they just individuals?
That is an interesting query because you got to protect your personal assets as well as your business assets. You got to create longevity. And there's a lot of, you're right. There's a lot of social media influencers, people making a lot of money that are probably not structured correctly to protect themselves if things go sideways.
Right. And I want to do another call out. We did this a couple weeks ago, but if you know a business influencer, or you are a business influencer, we want to talk to you. We have something coming up probably about, we're gonna go ahead and call it mid-April. Funny enough, we got the D-Day as April 1st, and
we did.
And the D-Day April 1st got me thinking that's April Fool's Day. So maybe it's not April 1st, maybe mid-April, but we have something coming that can make you a lot of money. If you know an influencer personally, get them connected with us. I'll put a calendar link in the bottom in the chat for you guys to schedule some time with Earl to talk about how you can make some money with that.
That's a good call out. I actually didn't even think about that. We're probably going to be leading more into that. We'll start revealing a lot more to you guys about what we've been working on for the last year and a half. It's going to be huge. It's going to change the way people do business. Because our goal, our mission really, with whether it's TJ or any of the businesses under the Turing family, is to provide great tools for you guys so you can be successful. That's what we want to do.
I want you to tell me or explain to our viewers what the Turing name means.
Oh, so look.
And explain okay. And tell the spelling because it's not Turing.
Right.
It's Turing.
Right. So it's Turing. It's an homage. It's a tip of the cap to Alan Turing, who was arguably, he's the inventor of AI. He's the father of AI, a genius well before his time. As a matter of fact, some of the computation things that he created, even back then, are blowing away some of the supercomputers. Now, with old knob turning deals, the guy was a genius. So Turing, the Turing brand, it's definitely an homage. It's a tip of the cap to him and the respect we have for what he was able to bring. He's an innovator. We look at ourselves as innovators as it relates to business. So what better name to really tie to ourselves than Turing?
So you said to me one day, when they build AI pieces, like a new AI software, they say, and I've heard this, does it pass the Turing test?
Right. Yeah. So artificial intelligence, Alan Turing created the Turing test, which is basically how you interact with that AI. Can you tell that it's AI, or can you tell that it's human? Is it a human or is it AI? How do you know the difference? And the Turing test is for AI to actually be able to convince you that it's actually sentient, it's human, it's not artificial intelligence. That's the Turing test.
So what would surprise people is that, and I'm just going to throw a number out. I have no idea. I don't have the knowledge like you do on this, but it was in the 40s or 50s that he created this software, or this program, this thing that probably fit in my whole garage, right? This big machine, and they still utilize it. And when he built that, it would do something in 20 minutes that'd take people 2 months to figure out.
Oh yeah, no, even faster than that. Yeah, it's still to this day. It's still relevant to this day, and everything moves at breakneck speed. It's so far beyond us. And we should probably do an episode about that.
I have one last thing before we're out. And by the way, I gotta while I'm talking, I'm gonna pour me a little bit more because I drank all mine. But I want to not only hit like and subscribe, but you know what? Share with your friends, share with your family. We're here to help. And with that, we're out.
I'm out. You're out. We're out. Talk to you later. So you just watched another episode of Bourbon Ball Caps, and in this time, a little bit of BS mixed with business. The links are in the description below.